You know what's also nice, Lambot? Is that we got a block off over here, and it's not a proxy hatch. MaxPax also went to confirm it, because he must have died to the proxy hatch that Dark throws in every 5 games. If I were to make a call, is that Dark is going to play the Queenling NYDUS once, this series, if it goes to 4 or 5 games, and I think he'll attempt the proxy hatch as well.
Yeah, that sounds like a normal Dark series. I don't know their exact history, because I feel like they should play quite frequently, considering both of them play the EPTNA.
Out of the last 5 series, Dark won 4.
Well, that's huge. Yeah, but I mean, then MaxPax should know some of the strategies. And I would probably think that some of the strategies work a little bit less.
But even if he didn't know the strategies, I just told him the most important one. So I'm very secure here in the MaxPax victory.
Okay.
He knows what's going to happen. Opens up with a fast core here. Or sorry, with a fast warp gate. He's going to cancel that last second, most likely. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. Although, I wouldn't mind just throwing in a Twilight Council build every now and again. I feel like Protoss players are always a bit too all or nothing with this stuff. You know, we completely forget that one thing exists. I have this as well. Sometimes you really get into glaives for a couple of days. And it works quite well at the start. And then you just forget how to play it all together. And then you go back to Stargate. And there's hardly any tosses that mix them up. There's some tosses that exclusively play glaives. And then some tosses that, most tosses exclusively play Stargate.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, we also tend to forget very quickly how to do the exact perfect response. And you need a very tight response at Zerg to hold that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
I think mixing up is quite good. I think against Dark in general, just getting warp gate first is like a soft counter to him, because he gets a roach point super early.
And a second gas.
If he just sees warp gate right away.
Yeah.
2 adepts, a stalker, is all you need to get ahead against him.
Yeah, it's actually true. You can save up 3 oracles after that. It's gonna be, you can have the time of your life, my friend.
He's gonna 3 Ravager. He's gonna add Ravager Lingot in.
Yeah. You have 2 carriers on the way already, playing 2-base Fleet Beacon. He shows up with the 3 Ravagers. There's a Tempest out. Mothership halfway done. Tough luck, Dark. Better luck next year. Alright, these 2 adepts are in a bit of trouble. The Oracle's going to show up, is going to save at least one of the adepts. A couple of links will fall. I think this was a worse trade for MaxPax, because he loses the initial fly-in, which often is the most powerful one, and he also lost an adept, so he can't really shade in anymore. I'm not a huge fan of it. Of course, he did kill a bunch of links, which is nice, but otherwise he most likely would have killed 1, 2, maybe even 3 drones. Against Dark, almost always the Spore doesn't finish in time in the main base, and the second Queen isn't there. So you can just fly into the main base and get like 2-3 worker kills for free, and you hardly take any damage.
Yeah, he's queen walking, by the way. This has to be a queen walk, and a very obvious one, I feel like, as well. Super early 3 gas, super early Roachborn.
Yep, that's a clean scout as well here. Extractor is done before there's a single drone on the 3rd base. This is such a clear tell. So there is a battery on the way on the 3rd. Now you want to usually confirm and then double confirm and then triple confirm. Like you want to keep making sure that drones aren't being built, because sometimes if you scout something, people will transition out of it. So it's really important that you really see a roach pop before you go for the all-out response. But we already have a battery being built in the natural. MaxPax is going into 4-gate without a forge, which I actually really quite like. Pumping out a Void Ray here, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of that. I really would have preferred seeing a couple of extra batteries here at the 3rd.
I think he could have made a Dark Shrine as well. Ooh. With the Twilight. Because I'm not sure if he confirmed that there was no lair, but it's highly unlikely. I think that with this you go for a lair. And he had quite an early Twilight. I don't think Blink's ever going to finish. I think Dark Shrine would have been a sick call here.
Yeah, because then eventually it's going to get cleaned up. Stalker's out of the wall here. Ravagers are being constructed. So another warp in starts. There's 3 Oracles and a Void Ray. There's 5 Queens though. It feels like MaxPax just doesn't have anything.
Good cross bites. He still has 1 backup battery at the 3rd base. I think he warped in too much at the 3rd. So now Dark will focus his attention towards the natural of MaxPax. But still 3 Oracles are active, so he can't commit in there with the Zerglings. And MaxPax so far is microing this quite nicely, even as a backup pylon for the 2 extra batteries that he's building at the natural. Blink is now starting. He still hasn't overcharged anything. Oh, that battery is going to be unpowered. I feel like that would have been the battery to overcharge. And I think he's getting overrun at his own 3rd base.
Yeah, links are running out though. First Stalkers coming in from the back. Backup pylon now finishes up. Super battery still hasn't been used. Should be activated at this point, I think, if there's any time you want to do it. Now, don't forget these Stalkers do not quite have blink. Still halfway gone. Dark Shrine definitely would have come in handy here, but Dark is going to clean up this third base. And as a result, MaxPax is going to be in a bit of a pickle here. The best thing you can do as a Protoss right now is take the alternative third base and then go across the map with the Oracles to try and kill as many drones as you can. If you can keep your opponent's drone count low, sometimes you can make something happen. There's only a single queen defending that third. Here we go. 2, 3, 4 workers going down all at once. 46 to 35. Also felt like Dark continued building units for a very long time as he's still knocking on this wall. Queen's gonna get taken out at home, as well as most likely 1 or 2 more drones. So MaxPax definitely not out of it yet, because he's still up 10 workers. But he's been hit.
He's been hit for sure. Yeah, I think the best against Roach Queen Walk from this drone count is to actually just sack the third base and run by the Oracles instantly, because there's going to be 0 queens at home.
There's like 37 or so, 38?
Yeah, it's 38 workers. If you run in with 3 Oracles against a Spore and no queens, you're basically going to kill almost every worker, usually.
Yeah.
You can even second Oracle. So all you need to do is defend your natural, which I think makes it way easier, because you don't need to split your units, you don't need to split batteries.
Yep.
So I think that's the best against these Queen Walks. But these Queen Walks are also not as common. I think it goes very similarly to what we said about the Glaives, is that Protoss players, they're not as good right now against Queen Walks as they were a year ago when we did that pretty much every game.
Yeah, not as tight for sure. So third base is being rebuilt. You see the supply still fairly close as Dark is moving into range upgrades. Has a couple of links still out, 29, but they're not going to be upgraded. And as the Stalker count is already quite big, I'm not sure how useful they're necessarily going to be. It's the first stasis wards now on the map. I think MaxPax still in a very playable position, by the way. Like, by no means is this over.
Yeah, for sure. I wonder if he's gonna go into Disruptors or Colossus after this. If he goes just Stalker Charge Lot, I think he's gonna run into some trouble against like a maxed out Roach Hydra push. But if he actually attacks past it, which I don't think he's doing because he just added a second Forge, there's no gases on the third. I feel like against just a maxed out Dark with Roach, Ravager, Hydra Ling running across the map, he's still in big trouble.
Yeah. I feel like after seeing the lack of a third base here, taking those gases should be a pretty natural response, right?
It should be, but he's getting a second Forge. I don't feel like the second Forge is normal either against 3-base sword.
Yeah, it really isn't. He's getting some really sick traits, by the way. His Stalker control is actually very good. This is on the Western United States server still, so there's a little bit of ping, but he is so good with these Stalkers. Like, he's much better than I think any other Protoss at the moment when it comes to this type of engagement. Just knowing how to engage, knowing how to position his army, continuously threatening. And Zerg can just never trade efficiently against it. It's not possible unless the Protoss messes up. That's why usually large link counts with +1 are very nice, because you can actually counterattack and do something. But Stalkers are already in position. There's a battery at the third, so that also isn't going to work. So MaxPax getting some okay trades over here.
Yeah, Dark's just trying to constantly corrosive pile and then walk back. Try to corrosive pile as far forward as possible, walk back, so that there's basically no trades happening. Any trade is going to be bad for him, so he's trying to just max out without losing units.
Yeah.
For as much as possible. As there's going to be another link counter attack. I'm not sure if there is a warp in ready, but he turns around. No, I think Dark is trying to pounce with the Hydras from the top. Hydras not the quickest unit without their speed upgrade, so not the greatest surround. But at the very least, he forces MaxPax back from that position. I didn't even know that map would go further to the sides, to be honest. I thought that was the end there for a second.
Yeah, I thought he was stuck as well. I was like, what are you going to do here? There's another part here and another base. Another speed zone as well. So the Prism is now on the map. Charge is done. And that means that the push that Dark is going for is going to once again be extremely all in here. 61 workers to 63. MaxPax has a massive Zealot run by coming out. Prism goes into the main, needs to stay alive. It's so important. It is so freaking important. In a way, I kind of like that he didn't get a warp in his opponent's main base, because he needs a lot of units at home as well. Could potentially give up this third if he can save these workers. Needs to keep the high ground alive. That's exactly what what MaxPax is going to do is the Zealots have reached the natural right now. The Prism is going to try for another warp in. There's one Disruptor on the way. There's none out right now. Stasis wards need to buy some time as one Roche gets sent forward and then tank some biles while in the stasis form. 4 drones have gone down so far. That's not quite enough. Next Zealot drone by isn't attacking yet. It's just idling. Those were important seconds there that MaxPax could have been killing workers already, as Dark wasn't entirely paying attention. Neither was Max, apparently. It's still going to be 3 base versus 3 base for a little bit, as Dark is trying to get a good surround there. And this is one of the things that Dark is really freaking good at, and that is setting up engagements. It's coming from 2 sides. Needs to be careful that the bottom side isn't too weak, though, as this was somewhat properly synchronized. Disruptor doesn't hit anything, which is a huge surprise to me. Worker count very, very even. Dark is all in. MaxPax needs to survive right now. Super battery is practically running empty. Oracles can still activate as the Hydra count is falling lower and lower. Maybe these Oracles can achieve something?
Maybe they can. The Templar Archives is done now, but he can't warp in Archons on top of these units. He would love to because he has a big gas bank, and I mean, once the Roaches are dying, it's just Hydras and Ravagers left over. So maybe the Zealots can clear up the Disruptor with a flank coming in hot. A lot of Hydras and a Ravager go down. And at this point, I think MaxPax has enough to hold, while at the other side of the map, he's still trying to harass, trying to make sure that not all the units are on his side of the map. And I mean, with that hold, he can now warp in like 4 Archons or so, make another Disruptor, and all of a sudden, it doesn't look that bad for him anymore.
An unreal hold here by MaxPax. Super sick micro, realizing where the weaknesses were in this army. Just waiting with those Oracles till the perfect time to really kill that bottom part. And then honestly, without that Disruptor shot, I still don't think it's going to be enough. It got 5 kills there. Those were 5 extremely important kills. There were no more active batteries. Super battery was already used as well. Prism is still alive during all of this, and the upgrades are 2-1 versus +2. The one downside here for MaxPax is that Dark already has a 4th base up. And as a result, is going to be mining a bit more because, well, he just has more mineral patches to work with.
I'm a little bit surprised he didn't just take the gases on his new 3rd base, MaxPax it is, to just more, go Archon Disruptor basically. With the extra gas, it would be more efficient in long distance mining. I mean, he sees the red HP base and he really wants to kill it. He's trying to make stuff happen now on the other side of the map. And Dark is kind of out of position. He now repositions, so I don't think MaxPax can attack here. And the issue now with these attacks is that the Archons don't have blink, so they can't actually always retreat. He loses 2 Archons there on the left. And that was a pretty bad fight. I don't think he actually needs to do anything because there is no Hive. He obviously doesn't have confirmation of that though, so... not sure if he got baited by the red HP hatchery or if he thought there was maybe Hive and Lurkers on the way. But I think from what we know, the attack was probably not the correct call.
Yeah, although I don't mind him being on the map with just the Stalkers. I think just having an Archon there is much more of a liability than an asset, because it kind of undoes what the Stalkers have as a benefit, which is their ability to always escape and run away, snipe one unit and blink out. And with these Archons, all of a sudden, you also have a slow, fat unit that's just gonna get killed in these little skirmishes. Loving the way that Dark is setting this up once more, by the way. This is such a trademark Dark thing, just having multiple groups of whatever he has out on the map, poking in and prodding, kind of playing it like a Bio-Terran would over here. This right side base is going to use a recall. At the same time, the left side needs more units as well. And I think Dark is planning on picking up his victory over here, Lambo.
Yeah, there's not much MaxPax can do here against the overwhelming army that Dark has. Nice, well orchestrated attack, honestly, from Dark.
Yeah.
But at this point, it was just a numbers game once again, and he moves in to kill the last of MaxPax's units.
Yes, sir. This base is going to end up falling. GG gets called as Dark wins game number 1 on Solaris Ladder Edition. What a banger of a first game. All right, game number 2. Top left, we have Dark spawning as our red Zerg player, playing for Team DKZ. And in the top right, we have MaxPax playing for Psystorm Gaming as our blue toss on MaxPax's favorite map, Equilibrium, which also coincidentally happens to be the favorite map of every Zerg player that has ever lived, because of the gold base and the rich Vespine geyser. So, very curious indeed, Lambo.
How come he took the triangle 3rd base last time, MaxPax? Because he wanted to take the gold as a 4th? Wouldn't it be better to take the linear 3rd then? As well, because it's closer to the gold as 4th.
I'd say say so, I guess. Because otherwise you're, well, I think it's always
much more
uncomfortable.
dead space.
I just don't think you want the gold. Like, it just seems uncomfortable. Yeah, but yeah, it probably is better to take the linear third. Yeah. I have no clue why he would do that, but that's the way he does it, man. Quick pull into gas here for Dark. Look at that. It's gonna mine so much gas, man. It's already taken the gold here. A real nice start. I played against the guy on this map. You know what he did? He took the gold as the first base.
And he took your gold.
What? No. Just his own gold.
Okay.
Then took his gas on this thing and then flooded slowlings across the map initially. But it didn't work. It wasn't very good.
Okay, I was waiting for the punchline because it just sounded awful.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I suppose. If this is what people are gonna play on this map, I'm down for it. Yeah, that wasn't great.
Well, sometimes you play the low-level Zergs and they actually have some good stuff, like the replay you showed me on Stargazers.
The young Jakob
that ended up, yeah, it ended up being the meta, literally the meta on the map for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But we didn't find it beforehand.
Yeah. Young Jakob really made it happen. I actually think this was Young Jakob as well. He was playing on a barcode. I recall checking it. I'm pretty sure it was Young Jakob. But I think he was just
it's a little bit
experimenting.
hit or miss, yeah.
Yeah. He's figuring things out. I can't blame the guy for it. Alright, 6 links on the way here as Dark is just link flooding. Well, not quite a link flood.
It's with a gold base though, so like it's like a pressure. We used to do this sometimes on Blackburn.
Okay.
Because on Blackburn the Protosses tried to punish the gold base with the adepts behind the gold base. So then if you would make this many links, you could run by against the adepts while still defending. And then drone behind it, and it's not that bad because you have a gold. In this scenario though, I mean, if the adept stands in the middle of nowhere, it's gonna go well, but he's going back now. It's very important that this adept doesn't get caught. As long as the adept doesn't get caught, I feel like it's pretty bad for Dark.
Yep. This is also the perfect shade timing, it felt like. That's so sick. Yep, this Stalker is also not gonna die, is it?
Yeah, I'm surprised he even walked. I guess it was necessary. The recoil was a little bit late.
Well,
Overall, this is not that bad though for Zerg, I think. With the gold base, it's worse than if you just had done nothing, but it's not game over or something with little... As this would be with a normal blue base.
Yeah. It is much better, obviously. Second gas is already being taken here for Dark, as he's throwing down an Evo chamber as well. I guess he's taking... Wait, why is he taking the second gas?
I have no idea.
Wants to get a
I'm
head
assuming
start?
he's gonna take... I'm assuming he just wants to be efficient. Maybe take out the drones from the main mineral... the main Vesping geyser.
Send him to the natural. I like that. Yeah, I do like that.
But yeah, if he keeps those in and he also saturates the other one, he's gonna float a ton of gas.
I'm looking forward to it. So that's exactly what Dark is doing right now. Starts +1 melee. Maybe it's going to be like a Bailing bust with +1. Or well, a Bailing bust
so
while
late.
+1 is researching.
Yeah, that's more likely, but yeah,
That's
I
the
don't think
one.
it's happening.
Oh, glaives!
Okay. That's very late as well.
Yeah, that's true. It's very late. There's 2 oracles out. So these oracles are trying to deal some damage. It's going to be is it 3 or 4 gates? It's 4 gate glaives off of 3 gases. I mean, if there's no Baneling Nest or Roach Warren, it doesn't really matter how late it's going to work.
It depends on the number of adepts.
I mean, if it's hitting this
Yeah.
late, like there's going to be at least 14, 15 adepts.
Yeah, you would hope so. I think 2 oracles into glaives is like one of the worst splits Protoss has, but like it always disappoints. When you think it's not counterable because the Zerg has nothing, they still hold it somehow. Is usually how it happens.
Baneling Nest is
Okay,
way
it's
too late.
11. It's 11 adepts.
It is
really not that
it is a
scary.
win for MaxPax. He's gonna destroy him. Like actually, he's gonna walk in and win the game here. Dark also built 5 overlords just before this started. Is floating 600
2
gas,
hatcheries.
like you mentioned, and is building 2 hatcheries at the same time. One of them a macro hatch in the main. Like This is a really, really bad shade, though, that MaxPax just sent in here. That was the worst possible shade. Oh, no. It's happening.
But it's... I mean that fact still wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Dude, Dark missed the injects. There's no way you're supposed to float that much.
Don't think so either. These adepts in the main base are dishing out a lot of damage. It's 44 workers to 59. There's 2 adepts in the, well, the third base of Dark that is positioned in the natural. They're also dealing a lot of damage. I think Dark at this point is allowed to leave, and no one would feel angry, you know, be upset with him at this point, because he is extremely dead right now.
He does have 900 gas left for the Muta transition.
If he throws down a Spire on 2 gas, that would be the highest tier play I've seen in my life.
Honestly, that build order was not tight from MaxPax, but Dark messed up. Like, I saw that his third base was not injected. I'm not sure for how long it wasn't injected, but if he just builds Zerglings, even without the Bending Mess, and the Shade goes in the middle of nowhere, with 10 Adepts, on top of Queens, like, you can hold that easily with Zerglings.
Yeah. I'm also not quite sure what the 1k of gas did during that battle, but it wasn't entirely useful, so it's fairly fairly odd to see here. Seems like Dark is just going in for an attack over here, as he's continuing to build pure Ling off of 36 workers. I think it's really important for MaxPax to scout right now, just to get a little bit of information before we do something we're gonna regret for the next 3 hours of our lives. Because if he's gonna blink down onto that watchtower now and then attack, I will be kind of upset, to be honest. I just hope we're gonna sit back at home and do nothing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think even if he moves out, he's to be honest, the Protoss has this mechanic called recall that usually saves you.
Yeah, it should be fine. It should be fine. There's also still 1 Oracle, which is helpful, and there's so many Lings that, I mean, even a full surround, like half of the Lings are not going to be fighting, so that's nice. I'm afraid of the counter attack as well, though. It's 36 workers to 69. All MaxPax needs to do right now is not lose 30 workers and not lose his entire army for free. This seems absolutely okay.
I mean, he's getting surrounded. There's a lot of Lings from behind, but he's cutting towards the low ground, which is a good call. There's also a rock, so he can blink in 2 different directions. The Oracle activates. He should also realize, I feel like, this amount of Zerglings should not be possible with how the early game went from there. First he Ling flooded, you did nothing, and then you killed a ton of stuff with glaives. So I feel like at this point, if his game sense was super on point, I mean, he doesn't need to go back, he's just always winning here, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. 7 more Banes on the way, there's no centrifugal hooks quite yet. These adepts in the back actually are going to dish out a lot of damage. Usually adepts are not very good past the 6-minute mark, and even before the 6-minute mark they tend to not be very good, but this time they actually dealt a little bit of damage. MaxPax right now very close to doubling his opponent's supplies. This Shade is going to finish up. It is pure Ling versus practically pure adept at this point. We're gonna need to see some splits here, but we are not gonna need to see them actually. All MaxPax needs to do is A. GG gets called. MaxPax ties up the series. Oh, look at this. Dark is pulling the move.
Proxy Edge. Oh no.
No. Just
no, he's... yeah. This is not how it works though. What? What is the point of this?
There is no point.
I thought he was gonna go back to the natural with a drone that the probe is going not into the direction of, you know.
There's no point to it. But it's really funny because this happens quite frequently. It's patrolling on top of the ramp and then nothing happens.
What? What am I watching?
I don't know why he does that. I love it though. It's one of my favorite moves. There's a lot of things like this where it's like you 100% know it's Dark. You don't really know why it's there, but it's, you know, it's happening. I freaking love seeing that type of stuff. It makes me so happy, man. Really like to... I love it. Dark's my favorite player by far. Alright, Nexus before core for MaxPax this time. It's important to note because he's been playing some core before Nexus today. This third base is here, or the natural is here. And we're gonna have to wait and see what Dark's plan will be. This is not a great map for an all-in. And so far it feels like that if MaxPax just gets his actual setup and nothing weird happens, that he actually just is quite good at the mid game.
I hope Dark's just gonna play macro here. Get the gold base, get some lurkers, play a little bit more defensive because we've never seen that. Usually, whenever MaxPax tried to go for his style. The Zergs just tried to kill him with a mid-game all-in, basically. I kind of wonder what happens if Derek plays his late-game style against MaxPax, because MaxPax doesn't actually play late-game very frequently. He usually just... His game plan is basically, I force you to all-in into me, and then I have Stalker, so I hold it.
Yeah.
So he just messes charge out run-bys, and then eventually with Stalkers, he's holding it, and then sometimes he takes towards Colossus, you know, and he has a timing with usually upgrade advantage. But he doesn't really play it for the late game.
He plays the same in every matchup. Like the concept, you know?
Yeah, it's a good concept.
It's a very good concept. He's very fast with it as well. Impressive person. Stargate about to finish up in the main. We're gonna see what the first unit is going to be. Surely not just an Oracle. As the two Adepts are gonna finish their shade. There's only 2 links here. And that means that we're gonna see 1 drone die, as well as, well, at least 3 pairs or 3 links. Make that 4. Adept will fall. 5 links and a drone for an Adept. Even trade.
He could have saved that Adept, I think, if he didn't fire.
I
Kept
think so
firing
too.
the last 2 shots.
Yep. He's gonna get the Overlord. Now, if MaxPax were a Terran player, he should be preparing for a Roach all-in.
Yeah, but that would be earlier. Now it's too late.
It's too late for the Roach all-in response. I think he's gonna get that Overlord. No, come on, that was lame.
He can mine it. He can just mine it and kill it, no?
Oh yeah, he's still gonna kill. Even if he just runs the Stalker there, I think he's gonna be just fine. Right? Oh,
I think he should have mined it.
you need to mine
Instead
2
of-
patches.
What? Oh, it's 10 minutes?
No, your Stalker doesn't fit through. I lost the game against Ashbringer the other day because of that.
Through any of them or just one?
I think the bottom one at least. I'm not sure if it's the top one, maybe no. But
Yeah, I feel like if you... It should fit through, right?
the
Like,
bottom
if
one
you-
I mined. I mean, it should be the same. I don't think that, but it didn't fit through. It just got stuck there. Or maybe I did. No, I did the top one actually. I did the top one. The top one and it didn't fit. I was very
No,
upset.
you-
I lost 6 Stalkers because of it.
You mine... Okay, don't mine the ones on the side and then try again.
Yeah,
Yeah, the middle patches work. That's what I figured.
very upset by that. All right. What is
He's
this?
doing the queen walk again, by the way. This is so early. If he recognizes this, counterattack with the Oracles, hold the natural, or make a direct shrine. If he makes a direct shrine, I will be very happy as well.
So Forge is gonna build cannons. I hate it when you're defending something and I see Protoss players put 2 buildings on the same exact pixel. It really makes 0 sense.
I mean, this is just a wrong response.
It could work though. Can't it?
Yeah, but it's still the wrong response.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, how is it? He just goes towards the natural now, right? You don't need to split defense against this. It's, what is it, 38 drones, 39 drones?
There's no battery in the natural yet. Oh, here we go. First 2 force fields go down. Oracles are very patient. Oh, I think he can actually kill all
That was
queens.
a bad start for Dark.
Yeah.
Definitely bad start. He lost so many links.
Oh, there's 4 oracles. He can just go and kill it.
Ah, it's off creep. Yeah.
Yeah. Just kill the queens, no? Or it'd be...
Ah, he's not doing it. That was awful Oracle control.
Yeah.
But still, the links are slowly dying. He's obviously just reinforcing with Zerglings. What are the Oracles doing? They keep running back and forth. They should just be in hold position at the back whenever the links commit.
Yeah, there's still 4 queens remaining right now. So Void Ray is on the way. Oracle's out of energy. They lost so much energy just idling and not doing anything. If you would have cleared those queens first, all of that energy would have been used at killing Zerg units, which is how you want to use your energy. With 4 gates of reinforcements and a Void Ray about to pop though, I think it might be fine. That is an awful warp in right in bile range. It's going to lose a lot of HP before these Stalkers even finish. I actually don't think it's going to be fine anymore now.
Yeah, it was never fine. That was a pure copium.
That was Copium. Oh no.
How about you text him to just make a direct shrine if he sees this?
Okay.
Because the direct shrine finishes, or tell him to give up the... Well, actually don't tell him anything. Don't give him tips. I'm gonna use this myself.
No tips allowed for MaxPax. He's watching the replay again. This is hurting my heart, man. He's figuring it out. He thought this was the right response, but it wasn't.
Like, watches every replay when he loses.
Yeah.
This
He's
is
a
what
quick
you should
learner.
always do.
He doesn't want to lose to the same thing twice. Yeah, that happened.
He just did.
Well, he doesn't want to, though. Yeah, poor guy. All right, bottom left, we have Dark, the Queen Walker. No shame. Top right, MaxPax. Lots of shame and honor and prestige. Doesn't Queen walk. A true man. Love to see it. Ooh, he's not scouting. What'd you make of that?
I'm just happy that got an ooh out of you. It was very exciting. It is uncommon for him.
Oh, he don't
And
get...
Dark doesn't even 14 hatch usually, so he could have just blocked him. So yeah, this is very interesting.
Dark with the 16 hash. Gonna get it down clean. Well, 40 minerals too late. Practically 17 hash at this point. As he starts the next drone instantly after. As our man's looking good. MaxPax didn't open up with gas first here, by the way. Just playing Nexus into a simulator. Or gateway into a simulator, sorry.
It's Solar. Wait, like, you gotta cast Solar's triggering me.
Wait, what?
No, on Skype.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
worry. Yeah.
I'll do the casting, don't worry about it, buddy. Can't believe he's triggering you on Skype. That's messed up. And it's also a sign that Skype is still alive. Any medium that can trigger you means that it's still going well. Bill Gates saved Skype. That's all I'm saying. Alright. Well, actually, no good luck and fun out of Dark. It's pretty messed up. Stargate is going to be built here on the edge. The hatchery is finished up. Neither player with a whole lot of information. Look how fast that core is with a no scout. 208 it finishes, 207. That's like a solid 3 seconds quicker than usual. MaxPax is so rich right now. Throws down that Stargate. What's that? 212? Ridiculous timings over here, guys. Ridiculous timings on these buildings. The first two links are gonna split up. Now this is a really standard move when you're playing against a no scout. Because 90% of the Protoss player, whenever they play no scout, they will follow it up with a proxy Stargate because they think they're being real unique. And as a result, all Zerg players will always scout around. Now you can use this by not proxy Stargating. Or by proxy Stargating in the middle, because they always send them around. You just go right over here. There's no way they find it. There's actually zero way that they find it there. Actually, I said over here. If Dark moves over here with his Ling, I'll be upset. Also, this area remains dark.
Are you through crafting proxy locations?
Yeah.
That's a bad time for me to tune out because I'm like hearing where you put your next proxy.
It's okay, you can always watch the VOD back. Don't worry about it. Double spores on the way for Dark. This is the Dark Classic. He skips the 4th queen and gets 1 or 2 spores very quickly. Oh, okay. This is the build.
It's built.
And he opens with the Void Ray first. This is bad Niels, isn't it?
Oh, it's fine. The Void Ray alone holds the NYDUS in the main.
Okay, so for the people that are not aware, before the series started, I sent MaxPax a direct message. And I said, Max, if it's a fast layer, be careful of the Queenling NYDUS, okay? And Lambo said, no, he'll know. You don't have to tell him. But MaxPax thanked me profusely. He said, that's so kind, Harstem. I wasn't aware of that. You have a very large mind. I appreciate everything you do for the project. Look at he's scouting, man. He knows what's up. Come on, see the layer, buddy. See the layer. He's like, wait, that's real fast, isn't it? He knows. Look at it. The gears are spinning in his head right now. I'm expecting another thank you after this game. You know that. A secondary thank you after he wins. Against the Queenling NYDUS.
Well, you know, I actually remember it. Also telling him this a year ago, I'm pretty sure. I know Dark has done this for a very long time.
Classic Lambo trying to take away the credits from my brilliant intervention here.
Like, there's no way he doesn't know
that World versus Korea cash as well, but no, my friend. That is not how it works.
Yeah, you think you're getting some of this?
No. I do this for free, but I know that your motives are, you know. They're less
monetary,
pure than mine. Actually, MaxPax is not responding properly. This makes me so sad. He does have a battery in the
He's
natural.
completely fine.
He's fine.
He's completely fine.
Void Ray in the main.
As long as he stands inside his own third base and not outside in the middle of nowhere. He's good. Yeah, the Void Ray is good against this.
This is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. This makes me so happy. Okay, NYDUS is going to be positioned outside of the third. We have a secondary battery on the way right now. Void Ray is going to spot this. I don't think you want to move out to kill it, though, with your Stalkers, Max. That is pretty risky. It could work out, but it could also backfire massively. It's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. Oh, my God. This is huge. This is over. It's over.
He's very supply blocked right now, but I don't think it matters.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I wouldn't mind seeing just one cannon here being added, but he already has 6 gates, right? Yeah, 6 gates is a huge amount. Super battery activates. There's still 2 oracles as well, which are absolutely brilliant if you have any amount of batteries just anywhere. Cannon gets constructed way too far back in the natural. It doesn't cover the wall. That is actually a tiny little mistake. As 8 drones get produced behind all of this, Blink is almost done. MaxPax is feeling way too confident here. Oh my God. Well, not way too confident. He's just very confident, and he probably has every right to be. Infestation Pit gets thrown down behind this, as Dark is... Transition...
Foremost.
Wait a second.
Maybe I think he's gonna make infestors. Is my call. He's gonna make like 3 infestors.
Is the hatch misplaced on the third by Dark?
No, it's not.
It looks
In what
very
direction?
far. Yeah, maybe I'm crazy. All right, it doesn't matter.
It's very normal too.
Okay. Yes, sometimes I look at something and it doesn't look right anymore, you know?
I have this whenever I watch when we're at the events and I watch the screen from a different direction than usual. I always think every base is misplaced.
What an idiot! Not again! His main?
The guy who flew his main, I can't believe it. You have to remember making another YouTube video.
Unbelievable. Yeah, a couple of stasis wards are being thrown down. There are some infestors on the way over here. As the stasis connects with a bunch of links. Fort base is on the way up, but MaxPax's fort base is also on the way up. Double Robo Colossus. I actually really like this as a response to this. I don't think I would have thought of that, but that's really nice.
Yeah, I think there's nothing that can go wrong with that. If he attacks up to Hive, I'm pretty sure you can just kill him. So, it's a good call.
Yeah, it really is. Okay, no matter what happens, it's very safe. You can't die, and you keep map control with the Stalkers for a little bit. Have all fungals been used already? I mean, there's only 1 infestor. No, there's 2 infestors total. Where's the second one? Oh, it's in the NYDUS. There's a bunch of units in the NYDUS.
His natural is accidentally still rally to the NYDUS.
It's like, where the heck is the second infestor at? Swear build too. There's no way. As Max is going to continue pushing it over here.
I think infestors are really bad now against Stalkers. Because it was already really difficult to fungal them, but now the fungal range is worse. I would be very surprised to see all the Stalkers getting fungal. Like, you can dodge it reactively. It's not a fast projectile, and now that the range is lower, the infestor needs to get even closer.
Yep. Yeah. Prism moving in towards the main base. Dark is moving in position to deal with that, but 6 Zealots against, well, 7 Roaches should be fine for the Roaches, actually, especially if they position themselves appropriately. Dark somehow, some way is still alive, but that's going to change quickly, I think, the moment these Colossus, and especially if like 1 or 2 Disruptors pop out here. Like, Colossus plus Disruptor is such a key composition against a Roach Ling. Like, that is actually just theory counters, you know? Like, if you go into the help menu, that is what they show you. And there's nothing that complicates this relationship right now. There's no Banelings here. There's not going to be Vipers, no Lurkers. It's just straight up A-moving Purification Nova shooting is going to do the job in my mind.
Yeah. He even has a Fleet Beacon style transition. When Dark will press rewind, which is what every pro player usually does instead of just quitting, he's gonna see there's like 2 carriers on the way. He's gonna tilt them even more.
Oh. Colossus will fall. Purification Nova doesn't hit either, and there's a single fungal left as the Prism is back in the main. There's just queens there to defend for now. This fourth base is going to be toast. Disruptors need to move forward. So the final fungal is going to hit. Bile's actually semi-connecting here as well. There's so much money in the bank for MaxPax. So yeah, he's actually saving it up for the carrier transition right now. Fifth base here as well. It's 3 base versus a fifth on the way. Prism hopefully will stay alive, but no, it won't. And the first 2 carriers start over here. I mean, pure disruptor production at this point is going to give the... You know, is going to bring you to heaven here, surely.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Dark can engage this. His army honestly doesn't look that big right now from MaxPax, and he has used up all the disruptors, so Dark will be able to fight back a little bit. He's gonna kill all the RoboBay units, which is nice. Still costly though, he's also getting completely outmined. There's a flanking disruptor. We also see the new mothership in production, which is very hype.
Very hype indeed. Yeah, that was a very bad fight though, for MaxPax, by MaxPax. Because he lost all of his disruptors and there wasn't a single Viper out. If there's no Vipers out, no unit deals well with the disruptor. Except maybe if you have a lot of Banelings, but that's also not the case. So really, Dark is just kind of a sitting duck. And how many disruptors went down so far? 3. So otherwise it would have been 6 right now. You still have Oracle for Revelation. You're just consistently going to be throwing balls in your opponent's face. That's not a very pleasant thing to have happen to you. First 2 carriers are out right now. The next set is on the way already, as more and more creep is getting denied. I really feel like, yeah, it's hard for MaxPax to lose this, but I do hope that he gets to kind of finish it before it gets into semi-late game scenario.
I mean, I would call this semi-late game. But yeah, I mean, the one player I do see win from this type of spot is Dark. I do remember a game against you on Romanticide.
I remember that too.
Yeah. And I also remember some other games from him that were also in very dire positions, and then he just turtles forever, and his army control is honestly what sets him apart from most other Zergs.
Yeah, it's very
really good at controlling late game. And mid game armies for that matter. Just really good at engaging in general.
Yeah.
Knowing what to do in engagements.
He's microing this quite well, but the carriers, of course, have no real answer for the carriers. There's 4 Hydras and 7 Queens. There's 5 carriers out. The interceptor count is at 26. A couple of Biles managed to connect. These 2 Vipers are going to make the difference. If MaxPax gets to snipe these, that would be kind of big. He gets to snipe both of them. I feel like that was very worth it for Max.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, this might have even been worth resources lost twice. Considering the position, it's even more so worth. The Queens commit onto 1 carrier, they get 1, but they lose almost all. Oh! That was a crazy recall. There's honestly not that many units that he's recalling here, but I mean, there's just not enough anti-air, is there?
No, I thought this went completely south for a second, and it lost his entire ground army, but there's only 3 Hydras left, so it all was good in the end. MaxPax gets the W, Zealots are also cleaning up the right side, and ties up the series, makes it go to match point once more. Alright, final game of the day here. Dark in the bottom right as our Red Zerg, and MaxPax as our blue Protoss for StarCraft Gaming. Fun little fact is that yesterday Dark's team, Dragon Kaisi Gaming, lost 2-4 versus the Shopify Rebellion.
That's a very fun fact. A fact that sparks joy.
That sparks joy for sure.
For all of us.
For all of us. We can go over the individual scorelines if you want as well, Lambo. I think that would spark even more
that
joy.
would be really interesting, actually.
So the first series that was Dark versus Beyond, in which Dark managed to win a match versus Beyond, so a bit of an upset there. 1-1 was that scoreline. As we're watching that, Dark is throwing down what's practically going to be a Ricky 19 hatch on the natural. Does get it down though. And the second match of the day was a Protoss versus the 43rd best player in the world and the 6th. And this might be surprising to you, but the lower ranked player there actually managed to win. It was Harstem versus Hero. And then the third match was Oliveira versus Lambo. Lambo made it close. He gave him the first game, but then on Equilibrium closed out the series with a tight 4-2. Beautiful beautiful gameplay with a flying unit as well. It was the Mutalisk really harassing him to death. Not a moment of doubt for me during that game.
And who would you say deserves the MVP for that series?
Well, personally, I think if you see out of the 3 matches, and there's 2 matches with a 1-1 score, and there's one guy that takes the 2-0 from an underdog position, I think it doesn't even matter what the name is, but I think that person definitely deserves the MVP.
So yourself is what you're saying?
Yeah, I think I deserve the MVP.
Okay.
Is there a monetary reward tied to the MVP, or?
Absolutely not, but you're going to get a mention maybe in the Team Liquid thread.
Very nice. I had this conversation with my parents when I became a pro gamer, and they were like, Kevin, does it pay anything? I said no. But every now and again, there will be a mention in the Team Liquid thread. My mom was like, oh, then it's okay. Go ahead. Go play video games for 8 hours a day, son. I said, thanks, Mom. Fantastic. Right, we have the Stargate opener once again coming out of MaxPax. Dark was looking for a proxy that never was there.
By the way, if Dark does this as frequently as he does, you should go, just so you remember this for next time you play Dark, you go to the natural and you fake going to the third base. At 50 seconds, you go back and you fake again. He's gonna go 19 hatch at his third base. with a second drone not mining. The game is actually over. Because he doesn't take it, because he thinks you're gonna go towards the third, so he thinks he can take the natural. If you then go back, he's not gonna get it, and he's gonna go 19 hatch on the third. I would actually quit the game if this happened to me.
Stark just builds the hatch in his main as a macro. He's like, I'm done. Ooh! Lair rush once again. If it doesn't work once, maybe it will work a second time. As MaxPax is going to be trying to scout this with a Void Ray. It's a bit harder on this map to scout though. It's going to be difficult to get in that main. He needs to go towards the bottom side. There is a juicy Overlord waiting for him over there as well. So he really is going to hit the jackpot if he does decide to go towards the bottom.
Yeah.
Wait, this is different. It's 2 gases. Usually you only get 1 extra gas, no?
Yeah, this is weird. I think it's a Queen Walk with a lair.
It's Hydra.
Maybe? Or it's a Hydra then.
Hydra all in.
I haven't seen that one in a while. I mean, it's not really buffed that much. It's basically the same as last patch, and it wasn't very good last patch.
Oh, he's gonna think it's Queenling NYDUS now, though.
What? Why does that matter?
Yeah, I don't
He
know.
made 2 batteries and got 6 gate. I don't see how that's bad against the Hydra then.
Yeah, I don't think... Yeah, it should be fine, right?
Also, you can just rescout.
Yeah, that's possible.
The batteries are not bad. It's not like...
Yeah, that's actually useful. Because very often what ends up happening is that they start with a bit of a link flood. And having the batteries there is actually really nice. Yeah, that's true. 4th gas is on the way. There's a lot of drones popping out here. Gonna go up to, 60 workers? And then start popping out Hydras. 2, 3, 4 at a time. There's no Adept here at the 3rd base yet. That means that Dark just realized, wait a second, if there's no Adepts here, that means they must be somewhere heading towards my area right now. As Oracle's actually got a couple of kills, which is really nice. Queen count is at 5. Hydra then got scouted. All the gases got scouted. Like, theoretically, this is a win here for MaxPax already.
I'm not a big fan of the robot, to be honest. But Dark is already taking out of it, so it's good. I think just maximizing the amount of stalkers you can get and making some cannons is the correct play against this.
Yeah. The thing that MaxPax probably wants to be looking at is Fort Base. Fort Base is going to be a dead giveaway that something weird is happening. It's like, hey, wait, you're not dedicating all of your resources anymore to this. And then if you see some more drones, some more gases being taken, then boom, you know what's kicking off. Evo Chamber's also a good little tell. Of course, MaxPax right now not aware of these, is actually adding in some cannons. This is understandable, as his rescout has been a little bit late. Needs to be careful with these oracles. Hydras can clear them quite quickly if you don't pay attention for a second. It's gonna keep both of them alive as the muscular augments finish up right now. It's the Hydra speed. Gonna be much better at chasing them as well.
This is gonna have to go lurkers, no? I'm surprised there's no infestation pit yet.
Yeah.
Like, do you think he's still gonna just attack with Mass Hydra, or?
I'd hope that for MaxPax.
No way.
Nah, okay. Yeah, Infestation Pit Lurker then. 66 workers. No fort base yet. This is not a good situation here for Dark. It is not necessarily game over. He's come back from much worse positions. But, I mean, MaxPax should have complete map control the moment the first Colossus pops for quite a little bit.
I think this is not even that bad. Like, for a Dark game, I think this is better than his average mid-game position. I think this is almost even. He has a decent worker count. He's gonna get Hive before he can die, 100%. It's honestly not that bad, I think. I don't think he can attack though. So maybe he can. Oh, he's gonna get both oracles. Okay, that's huge.
He's gonna get a cancel on the fort as well.
Oh yeah, that was really good for him.
This is a very nice move. There's no Colossus out. Blink forward. MaxPax in a little bit of trouble here.
Yeah, he's behind now.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to play late game. If he goes for a Colossus timing, there should be Vipers out if he waits for a Colossus.
Something that Dark quite often does though, is that rather than initially investing in Vipers, is sending all of his gas into Lurkers and Seismic Spines.
It's not bad either.
No, but I think it might make him a bit more vulnerable if MaxPax decides to push out right now. Because there's nothing to tank, dude. Like like Hydra Ling, there's gonna be 2 Lurkers
Queens,
with 8 range.
You send forward the Queens. I think his army is big enough.
He has 5 Queens total.
Yeah, I think that's more than enough, especially if he already has Lurkers. You can't push into even rangeless Lurkers that easily. His Colossus don't have range yet. He's also afraid to move out. Could be a run by.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that simple to attack into it. There's also spores that tank a shit ton. Yeah, Dark's gearing up for the late game. We're gonna get our late game, but this is not the type of late game that I wanted to see. I wanted to see like a double forge, the type of late game where MaxPax is on 6 base. Instead, he's pretty committed now.
Yeah, he's gonna be moving in as he's kind of outmaneuvering Dark. Dark indeed hasn't built a single Viper yet. That means that I think MaxPax is going to be allowed to stay on the map for a little bit longer than he usually would be. Is there no detection with this at all?
There was an observer, maybe he lost it. No, there's 2 observers that are now joining the army.
Prism also died, which is sad.
Yeah, that's really bad. And he didn't clear the creep on the bottom side where he already ran through, which is pretty annoying now. He realizes, I mean the Colossus right now can attack the Lurkers. Oh no, not anymore. I guess the upgrades are already on. You know, when the Colossus were back, you could just force the Lurker player to run into you because you could attack the Lurkers, run back, attack the Lurkers, and the spines wouldn't connect. Yeah. That was really annoying.
That was proper boost out. Observer here is going to be quite useful. Nice move there with the Stalkers faking an attack towards that 5th base. As Dark is now sending it across the map towards MaxPax's 3rd. MaxPax can't break this, I don't think so. He's gonna try a little bit. There's so many Lurkers though. I think a recall will be necessary. But the moment he recalls, that's going to suck. At the same time, Lurker drops going down. Dark has played this phenomenally. Once again with the unit movement looking very solid as well. So he's going to set up shop here at the 3rd base. 11-12 workers going down. MaxPax finds an opening perhaps. He's going to be capable of clearing the 5th base. But at the same time, he's losing so much at home.
I think Dark just completely outplayed him. The one weakness that his army had is that it's difficult to move out. If he just tries to take in a head-on engagement, MaxPax can kill some units, kite, no units would ever go down. So what is the strength of Dark's army? It is that his opponent can attack into him, even if he's not there with his entire army. Like, you can leave 10 Lurkers at home, together with the Queens, the Spores, and the Spines. And that's going to be way more supply efficient than the army that MaxPax has in the center of the map. So he's going for that mass run-by together with the drop, and with that simple move, with very basic logic, he just outplayed MaxPax here. And I think MaxPax is kind of dead.
Destroyed with facts and logic again. Can't believe it. Poor Max. I think really a key moment as well is losing that Prism, because if the Prism stays alive, it's much harder to move out with anything on the right side usually.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
MaxPax is adding in a lot of disruptors, and the first 2 Vipers are now being built. It's fairly late for Vipers to hit the field, and I don't really think this should be much of an issue for Dark to hold, because he has so much time with these 16 lurkers. There's a NYDUS on the way. I mean, it's 45 workers to 78. The army supply for MaxPax is very good. If MaxPax manages to clear both the Vipers for free, then maybe there's a possibility that he can break this with just constant purification Novas. But it will need some serious miscontrol here out of Dark.
Yeah, there's no way he's gonna break this. I think the best he can hope for is to just constantly try to trade and make sure that Dark never leaves his base. And it's actually not easy to abduct units against this high of a stalker count. It's very scary to go forward with the Viper trying to abduct if the stalkers blink back in the correct moment.
Bottom looks a little bit vulnerable. It's only 3 lurkers here.
He has no Oracle, so you can't tell.
Yeah.
You just see spines shooting at you. Oh my god. Is MaxPax not paying attention?
That's... Oh, it's too late.
That's too late.
Yeah.
You need to recall now.
And if you lose map control once, it's gonna be real freaking hard to get it back. Yeah, losing those oracles also a very big deal, of course. You can't keep track of your
Oh,
opponent's
that's a
army.
terrible recall. Everything was bunched up and it's not enough units.
Queen's
oh, this is a
coming in.
disaster.
Yeah. Ay. MaxPax here in the final game of this best of 5, getting taken out by Dark as... yeah, Dark is taking it back here for Korea. That means that on the side of Korea we still have Dark and Hero left. On the side of the foreign army we have 2 Terrans in Oliveira and Clem. That's going to continue another time.